Hi again. Just want to get the light on this. Hi again. Um, when I first started this group, when we first started this group, I asked people some of the topics that they wanted to look at, and one of the things that came up was anger. And I've noticed recently a few people have been talking about anger on this site, and some of the posts, by the way, recently have been been brilliant. And when people are posting, some of the advice people are giving them is brilliant as well. You know, I'm standing back and watching it and just think, oh, this is really good. Some really good stuff going on. And a few people have been talking, like I said, a few people have been talking about anger recently. And so I just wanted to have a quick look at it. It's a massive topic. For me, it's something that I talk about a lot when I'm doing courses, because I'm doing courses in the NHS and teaching people how to avoid getting into conflict. So one of the areas that we have to look at is anger, because obviously when we have conflict, anger's normally in there somewhere. So for me, it's an emotion, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. It can be shown or hidden. I've never met a human being yet that doesn't get angry, including me. I'm quite a calm person. Anyone who knows me, I'm pretty sure would say that I'm quite a calm person. But it just, all that means I'm just good at hiding it. I'm good at hiding anger. So everybody gets angry. And like I said, it's an emotion. It's a very powerful emotion. So why does it happen? And there's lots of different reasons for anger. Anger can actually, believe it or not, be a defense. If something's happening and you can see me getting angry, it might make you think twice about, the way you're dealing with me. It might work. It might force you to back off, because you can see that I'm getting angry, you can see that I'm getting wound up. So it can be a defense which goes way, way back in our evolution. For me, it's also about, as human beings, we live by sets of rules. Obviously, society gives us rules, our family gives us rules to live by, and we also create our own rules as well. So an example of this might be, if I've got a rule, and this is not one for me, I'm just trying to think of examples here. If I've got a rule in my own mind that says whenever I talk to somebody, they shouldn't be on their mobile phone, they should look at me because it's disrespectful, and then I'm talking to somebody on their own, and they're on their mobile phone, how am I going to feel? Because they're breaking one of my unwritten rules. And these apply everywhere in relationships. You know, I've met people that say when they come home from work, there should be men, there should be a tea on the table. The should words in there a lot, by the way. So they're things that we either should or shouldn't do. So I've got these set of rules that you should behave this way and you shouldn't behave another way. And if you break those rules, that can lead to me feeling angry. So if we're looking at working with our anger, then we need to look at, what are our rules? You know, what rules am I living by? I'm out in the car and I pull over to let somebody through and they don't flash their lights or they don't wave their hand to thank me. The rule that in my head is, okay, that's rude, I've let you go and you didn't even acknowledge me. So that can be another form of what makes us angry, because people are disobeying our rules. I did a talk a while ago and I showed the ABC formula, and the A is the activating event. So something happens, somebody cuts me up in the car. The B is my beliefs around that. So my beliefs might be they're being disrespectful. They've done it deliberately. They've deliberately cut me up. They're being disrespectful. They're rude. They're ignorant. The consequences of that, which is the C, means that I'm probably going to get angry. I might drive bumper to bumper with them. I might flash my lights at them. I might call them a name, because they've broken one of my rules. Okay, and the angry part of my personality is out. When we're angry, we normally want revenge. We want the other person to know that they've made us angry. You've made me angry by breaking one of my rules you shouldn't have done. So it's really important to be aware of our own rules. It's really important as well and we've all been there, when you're angry and you're really fired up. It's almost too late then. But it's really important to feel that that anger's developing. Why am I getting angry? What rules have they broken in my head? My rules. What am I responsible for? What am I not responsible for? Again, another massive area. What are my beliefs around this? Can I change my beliefs? And the whole bit as well, for me, it sounds really cheesy, but the counting to 10, the taking a deep breath. I know it's hard when you're in those situations, But what that does, there's a great book out there called The Chimp Paradox. I've mentioned this before, and he talks about the chimp part of our personality. And the chimp part of our personality is very much like like it says, a chimpanzee. They're very fast and very strong. And if that part of my personality reacts, it's a really basic part of my personality. Fight or flight, survival, that's all it's thinking about. So if I'm reacting from that part of my personality, the chimp, or as I prefer to say, the child, you know, that's probably not the best way for me to deal with the situation. If I can count to 10, take a deep breath, what that actually allows me to do, it allows the adult part of my personality to catch up, and hopefully, works for me anyway, the adult part of my personality is going to deal with the situation in a completely different way. So sometimes it's good, and again, I know this is not easy, but do I want the chimp or the child part of my personality to deal with this? Or do I want the adult part of my personality to deal with this? And you can do exercises where you differentiate between those two, and you know when you're in one state or the other, which is really important. Also as well, we can channel our anger. You know, it's an energy. I'm a big believer in energy. Anger's an energy. My friend Jeff Thompson, if you ever speak to him or hear him talk, you know, the guy's written over 40 books, mainly self-help books. He's written plays, he's writing a musical at the moment. He's written film scripts. He's won a BAFTA for a short-length film that he done. But if you speak to him and say, you know, how did you do it? He'll tell you, I channeled my anger. He was a very violent guy, but instead of using his anger in violent ways, he channeled it into writing, and he became a prolific writer and a really successful writer as well. So that's an example of someone channeling anger. If we look at people from history, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, you know, those people were up against, they must have been really, Martin Luther King, the things that were going on when he was around, he must have been so angry. But that guy, he refused to show his anger. He channeled his anger into mobilising a whole race of people and making massive changes in society. And Gandhi did the same as well. You know, instead of buying into the anger, they actually channeled their anger and got other people to channel their anger and made some massive changes as well. Even if we look at the Bible, you know, I quite often like to quote the Bible. I'm not religious, but I learn a lot from it. You know, there's examples of Jesus in the Bible getting angry as well. You know, and how must he have felt towards the end of his life with what happened to him? But he channeled that anger. He knew what he had to do. He had a mission and he knew what he had to do. So I hope that helps. Some of the advice that people have been given on here is great as well. Distracting yourself, maybe going to the gym. You know, I'm a big believer in the gym and going to the gym. I haven't always found that sometimes I've actually found, being honest, hitting bags and hitting pads actually makes me feel a little bit more aggressive. It doesn't always help. You know, sometimes going for a walk, distracting myself, that really works for me. Getting out in nature, that helps to calm me down if I can feel myself getting worked up. But I know sometimes when you're in a situation you can't always do that, but you can count to 10, you can take a deep breath, you can look at what are your beliefs in this situation, why am I getting angry, at some level you're choosing to get angry. So it's looking at that. I hope that helps. That's the message for today. Thanks to everybody in the groups, and some of the stuff that's going on at the moment in the group is brilliant. And thanks for people that are coming on and giving advice and trying to help people as well. That's exactly what I wanted. Thanks everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.